Om Sai Ram. Let me first start with my first encounter with Satya Sai Baba. It all started around 25 years ago when I was studying at my sister's place, the US medical licensing exam. I was new to this country and I used to feel lonely and depressed as I used to miss India back then. I somehow subscribed to Satya Sai org and I used to get this message of the day to my email every day. And reading those messages used to take away all my sadness. And I used to feel connected with Baba, used to feel that he was listening to me, and I felt very happy. As far as the principles, I follow all of them. I especially like love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never, and I try my level best to follow it. Also, follow, judge nothing, forgive everything, love everything. And all these principles have had a tremendous influence on my life. I would say all the Baba's principles have helped me to shape my life by calming me down and bringing peace and happiness to me and my family. I have visited Puttaparthi in 2020 on my India vacation. I had a strong urge to visit Puttaparthi at that time, and I would say it was the best decision of my life. I felt at peace with myself. I was very happy. After that, I would like to visit Puttaparthi on my next visit again. Thank you, Saira.
Om Sri Sai Ram. Prasanthi Nilayam, which is the abode of the highest peace, is exactly what I feel when I enter the ashram gates. It is only with Swami's grace that we can enter the abode of peace. Wonderful memories come back of our numerous visits to the ashram in a group. There used to be so much excitement during darshan time. Our days used to be packed with different activities such as seva projects, a visit to the hospital, attend talks by various speakers, and the most important event was the morning and evening darshan and bhajans. During festivals, Swami's discourses. I was very fortunate to have received darshan, sparshan and sambharshan from Swami. Days used to fly by until it was time for us to pack our bags and return home. The same excitement continues even now. When I bow down at the Sannidhi, I very strongly feel Swami's presence and feel blessed. The same happens during bhajans too. When I sit in the Sai Kulam hall, Swami's words keep ringing in my ears. How are you, sir? I ruminate on that scene and that becomes my meditation. I thank Swami for bringing me back to Prasanthi Nilayam, which in fact is homecoming for me.
I offer my loving pranams at Swami's lotus feet and I pray to him to help me convey what he wants me to convey. My connection with Prasanthi Nilayam is a very magical one. I wasn't born into a Sai family, so I knew nothing about Swami or Puttaparthi. In my 8th grade, we moved from Adilabad to Tadipatri, a place near Anantapur. One day, my friend's family was planning a trip to Prasanthi Nilayam and they asked if I wanted to join. I thought, my dad will not agree to this, but something nudged me to ask him anyway. To my complete surprise, he said yes. Before the trip, my friend filled me with stories about Swami. She said he's a doctor, a scientist, a teacher, basically everything. This made me curious. Who was this extraordinary person? I had to see for myself. When we arrived and stepped into Kulwant Hall, I was awestruck. The sheer beauty of the place and the calm energy in the air were unlike anything I had experienced before. I sat down and soon the music began. Then Swami walked in. It felt like a wave of positivity and as if an electric current of energy had passed through. I had never felt so peaceful, so alive. I didn't fully understand what had happened, but I knew this place and this presence were special. From that moment, I carried a quiet wish in my heart to return to Prasanthi Nilayam. A few years later, after completing 10th grade, all my friends were busy planning where to go to college. I, however, didn't have any plans. Financially, things were tough and I wasn't sure what to do next. Joining a government college didn't feel right, but I could see a way forward. That's when Swami's plan for me unfolded. I was blessed with a seat at Anantapur Junior College, a beautiful girls' college where we were taken to Padti every few months for festivals. Can you imagine my joy? Later, Swami blessed me to be his student at his university, and it was one of the happiest phases of my life.
Om Sri Sai Ram. As a little girl, when I used to visit Prasanthi Nilayam, I used to see some of Swami's teachings inscribed on rocks that were placed along the way. They were love all, serve all, start early, drive slowly, reach safely, etc. Two of the teachings I read and contemplated on them were help ever, hurt never, and the other one was speak obligingly if you cannot oblige. The part of hurt never I felt was easier to follow. Many times I may not get an opportunity to help, but I often get a choice to follow hurt never, be it in thought, word and deed. Visiting Prasanthi Nilayam is homecoming for me. The avatar of our Yuga walked on these grounds of Prasanthi Nilayam. How fortunate are we to have reached that place? The vibrations in the Sai Kulwant hall is so strong that when I sit during Veda chantings and bhajans, tears roll down my cheeks and hands go in prayer in gratitude for blessing me with the gift of bringing me to the sacred place where our batteries get recharged.
Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer my loving salutations at the lotus feet of my beloved Lord, the Divine Mother Satya Sai. Words cannot fully express my gratitude and thankfulness for Swami's boundless grace in taking me into his fold. I often reflect on how life would have been without him, and I am immensely thankful for his constant presence in my life. When Swami attained his Mahasamadhi, I was still in India, but I was too shocked and couldn't accompany my family to the final rites. I could not accept that he was no longer with us in his physical form. I was not sure if I would ever have the strength to return to Parthi again. However, in 2013, I gathered the courage to return to Prasanthi Nilayam. To my amazement, I felt Swami's presence in the same profound way I had when he was in his physical body. Whether I closed my eyes or kept them open, I could sense his divine walk and his loving darshan. Tears of gratitude flowed as I felt his love and grace, just as I had during his physical presence. Ever since that visit, I have continued to experience Swami's presence in the same way, and I know that he is always with me, guiding and protecting me.
Om Shri Sai Ram. My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our dearest Bhagavan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Today, I'll be talking about what comes to mind when I think of Prasanthi Nilayam, and also one of Swami's teachings that has really resonated with me. When I think of Prasanthi Nilayam, I think of it as a marvelous adventure I got to go on to discover hidden treasure. Because the last time I have been to Prasanthi Nilayam, when I was 9 years old, 11 years old, and finally at 14 years old. When I first went to Prasanthi Nilayam, I was 9 years old. I remember this was such a fun age to go to Prasanthi Nilayam because that was when I was really trying to understand who Swami was and when I first became a devotee. I remember sitting in darshan and being so wowed at Swami's calm and peaceful presence. Now, a teaching of his that has resonated to me to this day is a lesson that I learned in my own Balavika's classes. We were studying Swami's Bhagavatam Vahini, and in the Vahini, there is a story or a depiction of the scene where the Kauravas and the Pandavas are playing the game of dice, and Draupadi now is brought into the center stage, and she is calling on God for help. And first she calls many numerous names, from Dwarakavasi to Mathura-nivasi, finally to Hridaya-nivasi. Hridaya-nivasi, as we know, is the one who resides in our heart. When Krishna comes to Draupadi, he says, when you called me Dwarakavasi, I had to go all the way to Dwaraka first before coming to you. That was the delay. And then you said Mathura, and I had to go to Mathura and then come to you. And that was the other delay. But when you said Hridayanavasi, the one that resides in my heart, I was able to immediately come here. And so the reason why I say this is a teaching that has really resonated with me today is because although I haven't been able to physically go to Prasanthi Nilayam in a while, I remember that I have to have the Prasanthi Nilayam in my heart. That Swami is always everywhere and beyond even this earth. And so when I think of Prasanthi Nilayam, I think of how much I must keep Swami in my heart. And I hope one day to venture there again very soon so that I can imbibe on the wonderful vibrations and the beautiful unity that I see from everyone coming together because of Swami. Om Shri Sai Ram.